Miranda, do you want to?
Oh, we were going to spoon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So like,
do you know my boyfriend does not spoon with me?
I'm always like, I'm like up in your grill, and then the only way to get comfortable is to spoon me.
That is good.
Yeah, because they're like, I can't. Where do I put my arm? It has to go over.
Show me the technique. Okay, so how you force someone to spoon with you. We just had sex and like I'm just done now.
Floof my pillow, and then I just kind of like get a little.
That's good though. This is a good technique.
Hi everyone. Thanks for watching Talking Mess. We hope you enjoyed Grandma's spoon.
You wanted to spoon me.
This is Miranda Childs, who is our tall, blonde, leggy hot mess, who you may recognize from Angel of Harlem or Fruit Flies from last season. We decided we'd film a Talking Mess on location in bed under a grandma quilt.
Shake the Brady.
This story didn't happen to you, did it?
No. Yeah.
This actually belongs to my friend Courtney.
Hello.
Hey, Courtney, it's Miranda.
So,
I remember you had a beautiful tall blonde playing me.
I did. Because I heard the story straight from your mouth a few years ago, but I would love for Miranda to hear it straight from you.
So I'd never really done a play reading. I was really new to New York. And the two playwrights I was working with were up and coming, I guess I would say. When the reading culminated, we all went out to drinks, and I was not accustomed to drinking in New York City. And so I just kind of followed suit with one of the other girls.
What does following suit mean, Courtney?
It means I drank several tequila gimlets. I had probably 5 or 6 of them.
Oh my God.
By the time that was all done, the male playwright, well, so his name was Ashland. He was very, very handsome. You're not capable of taking yourself home. Well, you can come stay with me. We get in a cab and start heading to the Upper West Side, which is where his apartment was.
When did you start making out with him is what I want to know.
I don't even know if that happened.
So you're saying I made out in this episode all for naught?
Could we say here right now that you are an affectionate drunk at times?
Yes, I am, indeed.
You're like a drunk Care Bear, is basically.
Which is, yes. I'm asking him, I think, how he can afford to live on the Upper West Side.
The apartment is amazing.
It's my grandparents. God, you're amazing.
I live in my grandmother's rent-controlled apartment.
At this point, when he says my grandma's rent-controlled apartment, you assume what?
I assume that it's just him. And we get upstairs, and right before we open the door, he says, "Oh, by the way, my grandmother is staying with us tonight."
So you knew that. I didn't know you knew that.
I immediately was attempting to wipe the drunk off of my face. So,
I respect that.
yeah, and apparently what I do when I'm trying to not act drunk is I speak as properly as possible. He introduces me to his grandmother.
So you met her?
And this I do remember. I did. I met her, and I said, "Good evening, Mrs. Halfnight. Thank you so much for allowing me to stay in your grandson's quarters."
Why didn't we film it?
So I remember saying that and then thinking immediately after, why did you use the word quarters? No one uses the word quarters.
How odd.
Like that we're suddenly in an episode of Intoxicated Downton Abbey.
She reads too many novels.
We went to bed, and all I remember is I woke up the next morning, and I was really confused.
Good morning.
Because I felt like I was not in the bed that I went to sleep in. Someone sort of had come in to check on me and was like, "How are you feeling?"
You're like, where am I?
Good morning.
I feel like I'm not in the same bed, and he was like, "You're fine. Don't you worry about anything." How are you doing? And I get up and come out, and Grandma is sitting at the kitchen table. She kind of looked up from her newspaper and smiled at me, looked over the newspaper at Ashlyn, and he sort of shuffled me out the door, and I had to get up early and go to school. The director of education who had originally referred me can't wipe a ridiculous smirk off of his face.
What?
And I have no idea what he's laughing about. And finally, a couple of days later, I asked him what is so funny, and he reveals to me what had actually occurred.
Which is?
I woke up drunk and got in bed half naked with your grandmother.
I had woken up, probably to go to the bathroom.
Yes.
And had not been able to find my way back to the room. This was a very confusing apartment.
You could get turned around with all these doors.
I go into some other room. And I go up to the bed, and apparently I say to the person in the bed, I'm cold.
I'm lost. Will you hold me?
He kind of moves over and lets me in. And I then turn around and I say, I'm cold. Spoon me.
You
So,
Spoon me.
and I made her put her arm around me. And I was the little spoon and she was the big spoon. Forced this man's grandmother to cuddle me all night long.
So do you sleepwalk often?
When I was in the 8th grade, that my mom says I would sleepwalk on a pretty regular basis. I remember this was during the 90s when George Bush was president, and my mom says I once
What did you do when George Bush was president?
and just was standing there kind of like a zombie, and my mom heard me and came and was like, Courtney, what are you doing? And I said, George Bush is downstairs holding a rifle.
Threat to decency and humanity.
And I just kept saying that over and over.
Did your mother ever consider calling an exorcist?
She probably should have.
Yeah.
Because my dad also forcibly made me watch The Exorcist when I was 7. And
Oh,
for 2 years
that's where it
afterwards,
came from.
I was convinced that I was possessed by the devil.
I like the fact that, as you've aged, your inner demon has gotten softer and, didn't attack Grandma, but just asked her to cuddle.
You know what she did?
You said spoon me.
Amy and I wanted to ask you about something.
Oh, so Courtney was at our season 3 premiere party with Miranda, and so you two got to meet, and you also got to meet Damien, who played the gentleman friend in the episode. Indeed. Did you guys hit it off?
We really did hit it off. Split a cab home, and somehow over the course of our cab ride, I must have said something really assholey.
No!
Oh, no!
We parted ways. At the
Oh.
end.
I was hoping for a fairy tale ending.
Yeah, Courtney, if Damien were here right now, what would you want to say to him?
Yeah, what would you want him to hear?
Damien, you made the conscious choice to get into the cab with the girl whose episode you filmed, and the episode was about her getting too drunk and spooning a grandmother. So maybe think about who you get in cabs with.
Maybe you just tried to cuddle with him and he was like, whoa.
Maybe you turned to him and said, George Bush is outside with a rifle.
And what's funny is I knew nothing about his gun laws and his, any of his policies on any of that. I mean, I was 13, but I knew for a fact he was downstairs holding a rifle.
That's so fun. Well, we're so glad that you got to see the episode at the world premiere.
You can wear a cocktail dress for me anytime.
Are you drunk right now?
That's what I was going to say, what is happening?
All right, my dear.
I'm drinking my morning scotch right now.
Are you in your own quarters or those of another?
What did you think when you first read the story?
I loved it.
You were like, oh my
Yeah,
God.
I was like, I want to do this
Well,
one. Because I think Sherry was maybe going to do it.
No, Miranda would do that.
You snore.
Susan played the grandma in the episode. And we cast her because we knew she would be like a full 2 feet shorter than you.
She also know Romanian or what does she speak?
Damien's Polish, and his grandmother's Polish, and so he talks to his grandmother exclusively in Polish.
And he taught her some words. He tried to teach.
One of my regrets was getting ambitious and trying to teach
foreign languages to that.
to the actress who didn't already know her lines to begin with, and then we're like, can you also learn some Polish in the next 5 minutes?
Brady.
We taught her a couple key phrases, and then he just covered with a lot of Polish banter, which we never really translated. I have no idea what they were saying. I have excellent news for you all. This is not the end of Miranda in season 3 of Hot Mess. She has another episode coming up in a few weeks called Flip Tease. And if you want to learn more about Miranda and all her magical filmmaking mess, you can go to mirandachilds.com.
Yeah, or you can follow me on Twitter at Miranda Child. I tweet poor taste humor. Actually, you can also follow Hot Mess on Twitter. You can follow at She's a Mess.
Thanks for watching. Bye. Okay. I don't normally give them a concussion. That was an accident.